Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we do full-length car reviews each and every week, and we have a segment halfway through called Questions, Coffee, and Cars. And we spun it off, and it's a standalone thing. We're at number 65. How do you get a question in?
Follow along on Instagram at Motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time, I put a post out. It's only up for a short time. Once we gather our questions, the post is deleted and we start the show.
So don't sleep in.
No sleeping in on Sunday for you.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
How do I choose between Corolla Cross Hybrid RAV4 and Crosstrek Forester in terms of practicality and reliability if we plan to have a baby in 1 to 2 years? Is it better to switch to a new, bigger vehicle after 3 to 4 years if we also consider the long-term cost of maintenance?
There's lots to unbox in that, Andrea. I'm just doing it. So the Corolla Cross, are they saying hybrid for the Corolla Cross?
They did say hybrid, yeah.
Okay.
No, they didn't say. They just, yes. Sorry. They did say.
Sorry, I've got to
hybrid.
translate for American viewers. That's sorry, not sorry.
Sorry.
All right, so the Corolla Cross is the subcompact, and the Crosstrek is also competing against that one directly. Yeah. RAV4 is one class bigger, so they're wondering, should they just buy the RAV4 now and future-proof?
Or Forester.
Did they say Forester?
They did.
Yeah, so what I would do is if you have a child, you're going to want more space. They come with a lot of stuff.
There's always tons of stuff.
There's strollers, there's diaper bags, car seats, there's rear-facing car seats, there's all of that. So I would future-proof and get a. You're gonna once you have the smaller one, you're gonna go, should have got the bigger one. It's you know what? I just want to give one piece of advice. I'll let you talk to more. Don't worry. When I bought our first big flat screen TV, the biggest piece of advice the guy said is, yeah, everybody thinks they can get by with the 46-inch. You want bigger.
Is that the one you dropped on your foot?
It was no, that's the one it replaced.
Was it?
I dropped it on my toenail and the toenail came off.
Terrible.
Came off.
Terrible moment. Okay, so a couple things. I really believe that hybrids are going to have better resale value as time goes on versus gas models. So a couple things you could do. You could get the RAV4 hybrid. I think it's priced really well. There's lots of different trims to choose from, especially if you're on a tighter budget. The Forester is going to get a hybrid. It's going to have the same Toyota hybrid system, but it's going to have its own Boxer engine, which is going to be a Subaru engine.
A year away. It's a year away.
A year away.
That's not going to work.
It really comes down to, do you need it now? I would go with the RAV4 hybrid myself. I think you need something bigger later on, and you will be happy that you did it. It gets great reliability scores. I think that's the one for you.
And the reason why I say just do it now is because when you trade in a car and you get a new car, there's all the different fees that are associated with it, and you got to pay tax and all that kind of stuff. You're actually saving money just buying the car you need now. The bad news is, good luck getting a RAV4 hybrid.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Just put an order in now. Do it at a few different dealerships because some dealerships get more inventory than others based on sale. So put it in now and wait for it.
And what I would do is, this is advice for anybody that's wanting to get a car on a wait list. There is really no list. Like, the dealers just sell the cars to people they like. So honestly, it's how it works.
Well, what list were we on for the GTI? Because it took almost a year.
Yeah, but that
couldn't have been on a good list.
That was, it took a while, but it came. The thing is, we actually knew that specific car was coming because the dealer sent us the VIN saying the car's being made, and they tracked it all the way here.
For sure they did.
So that was different. So go in and meet the general sales manager, and every month or so pop in, find out what his favorite wine is, and drop off a bottle of wine. Say, hey, really looking forward to getting that RAV4. Drop the bottle. You'd be surprised how fast that thing shows up.
Well, just keep going in. If they are getting the inventory, then maybe you'll get it. Either way, I think it is based on inventory per dealership.
Oh, you like Chardonnay? Oh, that's nice. Me too. Oh,
Box
this
of
is my favorite Chardonnay. Yeah.
Just want to say, maybe that was our problem. We didn't give Mark anything. Vancouver Volkswagen. Did we, Mark?
We gave him the love now. You, Mark, at Vancouver Volkswagen, you're getting the love now.
And I got to say, they treated us really well. Great team over there at Vancouver Volkswagen. So much confusion choosing our next one. We're due for an upgrade and looking for a car that can hold 6 people. We're stuck between the EV9, EQB, and Grand Highlander hybrid don't want to pay much for fuel as the gas prices are skyrocketing.
Well, I know which one
That
I'm
is
going to
for
say.
sure.
Okay, 321. So it's EQB. That's the small Mercedes that has a third row.
Yeah.
The EV9 is the full electric
Big,
Kia.
biggie.
And then the Grand Highlander is the new large Grande Highlander. It's the bigger. It's the Grande one. Okay.
Okay,
3, 2, 1. Toyota.
Grand Highlander. Now, I would get the hybrid 2.5 liter because that is the one that's going to get you the best fuel economy out of the Grand Highlander
Family,
trims.
yeah.
I think that the EV9 is a great option. It's a pure electric vehicle. Kia did a beautiful job with this, but it depends. Do you want to go with a pure electric vehicle? It definitely gets up there in price. The EQB, we do like.
I love
think
it.
it's really fun,
I think
but
it's great.
it's
I wouldn't-
quite high price-wise.
Yeah, but I
and
wouldn't.
it's not big enough.
I wouldn't put
No.
people in the third row regularly.
Same.
If there were small children, on occasion, you could get by with it. But you're in that snack bracket. Back to the previous question.
Yeah.
Good luck getting a Grand Highlander hybrid or the Hybrid Max. You know what you should do? You should go into the general sales manager and say, do you like Chardonnay?
Okay, we covered that.
Pinot
we covered
Blanc?
it. Let's move on. My family enjoyed our old Ford Flex. We just saw one drive by. Man, geez, you know what? That would have been very successful today. It just was the wrong time for the Ford Flex. Is there a vehicle that comes to your mind with similar great legroom for 4 tall humans, plus above average fuel economy? Feels like everything is so small or too expensive. 40 to 50,000 budget. Cheers from Vancouver Island.
40 to 50,000 budget is going to be tricky. I was just going to say cut and paste the Grand Highlander answer for this
Yeah.
one because that really is big box on wheels.
It's just a bit pricey.
Yeah,
for,
so at
for
$40,000
you.
to $50,000, you would be probably best served to maybe look for a used, larger vehicle, something that's big. And the biggest ones are the Atlas, the Grand Highlander, the Chevy Traverse, and they're going to give you the most legroom.
Now, if you can make a little bit of a stretch, just a tiny bit, it would be on the closer to 50,000 range. The outgoing Santa Fe model is a 5-passenger vehicle, and it is terrific. It is so spacious. The second row legroom is spacious. The cargo area is spacious. I think that is one that you may really like. Also,
I just,
if you can make
don't,
this
don't,
stretch-
just, I was going to guess. I'm going to guess.
What are you gonna? What?
Subaru Ascent?
No.
Oh, because Subaru Ascent's good
I
value.
was going to say, if you want a big 5-passenger, Mazda CX-70. Mazda CX-70. That second row legroom is amazing because, of course, it's based on
Did you
a
say
3-row
7-passenger?
No. He just wants it for his big humans.
Yeah, but because what I'm saying is when you said Ford Flex, I'm thinking of something that size. But if you just want 5 passengers,
He just wants something for 4 tall humans. So honestly, the CX-70, that is a good one.
not for sale yet. But it's
It's
coming
not
soon.
for sale yet, but it sounds like he's had the Flex for a while and they're just thinking about getting into it.
Subaru Ascent. The other thing is if you want lots of space for large, tall people, get a minivan.
They want,
Get a
they
minivan.
don't want a minivan. They don't want a minivan.
Because you know why? A minivan just drove by. And I thought to myself, oh yeah.
Oh, another good one, Honda Passport. That's a 5-passenger. That's spacious. Front row, second row. Oh,
Just,
and I got
just
one more.
one thing before you go on the Passport. Pump the brakes on the Passport. There's going to be a refresh Passport coming out, which might actually, you might be able to get a deal on an existing one, but there's going to be an updated one.
And another one, now it is a 3-row SUV, the Nissan Pathfinder. And I'll tell you why.
I want to know why.
Because the front row legroom is the biggest in the Pathfinder. I have had tall people contact us and they've said, oh man, I can't fit in the front of these vehicles. I said, try the Pathfinder. Guess what? They bought it.
You know what you should get? Minivan.
Love your shows. Thank you. Your YouTube channel is my first reference for car info. That's so good to hear. My question is, what is the downside of buying a 3 to 4-year-old RX, regular or hybrid? That's a good question because the RX is super reliable.
Yeah,
the
it's
older model.
the older model. Okay, pluses and minuses for the RX. As you're going to find out looking for a used one, great resale value because they're not cheap. Hybrid is available. The hybrid, not that invigorating to drive. And it's a Lexus, and it's going to be reliable. If you buy one from a reputable dealer and maybe even get it with an extended warranty, no issues there. On the downside, older technology interior, trackpad, no touch screen, it's the trackpad. I think you can use the touch screen, but anyway, you got the trackpad, and it's not that quiet compared to the new one. But if you just want a reliable luxury brand, it'll do the job.
Also, the heated seats take forever to heat up. The heated steering wheel takes forever to heat up, but you have a CD player. So if you have a CD collection, you're golden. So that's the only thing. What you are getting is a very reliable vehicle. It gets excellent fuel economy with the hybrid.
Yep.
But technology is old, and there's things that it just doesn't do well compared to the new model. So it's really, you are going to sacrifice a little bit, but you're also going to drive an older model that's going to start for you every single day of the week.
But 3 years old isn't that old. Like, that's not an old car. And you're going to get, if you're going to buy it from a dealer, you're going to get a certified pre-owned extended warranty. Not that you're going to need it much for a Lexus anyway.
No.
But the thing is that it's good, reliable, honest transportation. The V6, it's a V6 hybrid system instead of a 4-cylinder hybrid system like the new one. So there's a lot of peace of mind with that. Is it the latest and the newest? No.
Well, Zach says like 2 or 3 years old isn't that old, but Lexus left that for a long time. And so, yes, it is old compared to other 2 or 3 year old models, but that's the sacrifice, and that's what you have to decide for yourself.
Physically,
no.
The car is not old. The technology is old.
Yes. I love and enjoy watching your videos. So honest. I'm considering upgrading my 2023 Mazda CX-30 as the interior is now smaller for my family's needs. Which option would you suggest between the new 2024 CX-50, 2024 BMW X3, or the Mercedes 2024 GLC? Looking at a dynamic, fun drive. So the GLC...
3, 2, 1.
X3.
BMW.
See, we're thinking the same. So a couple things. The GLC is smooth and refined. I wouldn't say it's not engaging.
Yeah.
Consumer Reports is not giving it a very good predicted reliability score. I don't even want to give the number because it's so bad. They do give it an overall score of 51 out of 100. Well, let me double check that.
One thing I just want to say is that Consumer Reports has been very kind to BMW and Mini over the last couple of years. They've scored several of their cars right near the top.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of the X3. It's in its last year.
It is.
So just be aware that it's going to be refreshed. It's got the older tech dash, which I prefer because it's still got some buttons. It's still got the iDrive system. The new one will be, everything will be in the screen.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of like the last hurrah. And that's why I'm also a big fan of it.
So I was right. Consumer Reports gives it a 51 out of 100. That's the 2024 GLC. That's a predicted reliability score. JD Power gives it a better reliability score of 78 out of 100. Now the X3 gets a 73 out of 100 from Consumer Reports, and the CX-50 68 out of 100. If you're looking for something that's a little less money, you'll find that the CX-50 is really engaging, but you will also find that the seats are quite firm.
Listen, if you're contemplating a BMW, back to my analogy earlier and talking about get the big one now, get the one you really want now, get the big screen TV, the one you should have bought the first time around. Don't get the subcompact, get the compact. If you're thinking about getting a luxury mark, just go get the X3. You'll like it. It's proven technology. It's been reliable. It's fun.
Yeah.
And they'll put the handcuffs on you, and you'll
never leave.
You'll rope you back in because they'll say, "Hey, your lease is up. Come on back. We'll get you in a new one." And it's actually, the deals can be really good.
Yeah, for sure. Love the show and tune in regularly. Thank you. What's in the cups? Oh, what's in the cups? Cafe. Mine's an Americano.
So a lot of people say there's not even coffee in there. That is an Americano with a little bit of... Why do people ask this? They don't believe us.
They don't believe
this has got a little splash of non-fat milk.
Can you see it? Coffee.
Some people think, oh, they don't even have anything in it. It's like, you don't know us and how addicted to coffee we are.
So we wanted to know about that, but he actually has another question.
Oh, okay.
Are you hearing anything about a hybrid Telluride? Wondering if it is a possibility now that the Carnival is coming out with a hybrid engine this year. Hey, anything's possible. When we were in Vegas with Kia, I did ask. but they don't like to talk about future products. So they just say, well, the Telluride is a very popular seller for us. You never know.
Well, if you think about the new Grand Highlanders coming in with Turbo 4, regular hybrid, the more powerful hybrid max system, and probably eventually, not right now, but a plug-in is probably coming. They're out of step, and everybody else is going towards turbo 4 cylinders in that class. So if they could add a hybrid into the mix, and they're doing that with Santa Fe, you just think that anything is possible.
Anything is possible. I mean, they've got the Sorento plug-in hybrid and hybrid. So I really believe that one is coming. Whether it will be a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid, either or would be nice to have.
I don't think it'll be a plug-in. It'll be too expensive.
I'm wondering how it works when you order a vehicle that won't arrive for many months. If you negotiate a price on a 2024 model and you don't get it until the 2025 models are out, do you have to negotiate the price when it finally arrives?
Oh, this is just exactly what happened to us. So we ordered last April, so 10 months ago, our GTI, and we got a quote on the price of the vehicle, and they said, okay, it's now in the pipeline, and we'll see when they make it. And they didn't make it in 2023, and they made it at the end of 2024, at the end of 2023 as of 2024. And so what happened was the dealer got in touch with us and said, by the way, you wanted the Harman Kardon sound system, and if you want that, that is now on the top trim.
Yeah.
So we had to go from the middle trim to the top trim.
To get what we wanted.
To get what we wanted.
Because we had ordered the Autobahn in Canada.
Well, in the U.S., that's
the top trim.
They call it Autobahn, but it's actually it's the middle trim in Canada and the U.S. That's the one we wanted. But they changed the packages, and then of course the price is more. We were happy to pay it because we wanted the car the way we wanted it. But when you actually get that quote from the dealer, that you'll see if you read the fine print, that is all subject to change.
Yeah.
Because if the manufacturer changed the price of the vehicle, and then it shows up, they're going to charge you more for that car.
Of course, especially if it offers more. Like when you go from one model year to the next, they might add more features.
Stuff away,
or take things away. But you have to be prepared for that. Another thing you have to be prepared for is that if you plan on leasing it and interest rates. I have many people who have contacted me and they've said, look, I ordered this vehicle and the interest rate was 4%. Now the vehicle has come in and the interest rate is 9% and I can no longer afford the vehicle. Can they do that? Yes. They can do that. What you order at the time may not be what you end up with. So you have to keep an open mind about that.
There was a big story about when the F-150 Lightning first arrived here in British Columbia on the local news. And they contacted me to see what I thought about it. And I said, they got a quote. And they got a quote for, let's just say it's $70,000. And when the truck arrived, it was like $85,000 or $90,000. Yeah. And I said, well, what they did was they got a quote. They didn't get a bill of sale. There's a big difference between the dealer printing out something and say, here's your F-150 Lightning, it's going to be $70,000, or that's what they say is the quote. But then when it comes, the actual bill of sale is something totally different.
Yeah.
So from a quote to an actual bill of sale, there's a lot of stuff can happen in the middle there. And trust me, everything is on the side of the dealer to protect themselves, that they don't get upside down in the cost of the car. And they just won't sell the car.
No.
They'll just say, Sally over there is going to take it instead.
And the other way to look at it too is it's not a binding contract. So if you decide when the vehicle comes in that you don't like it, you don't want it, you can also walk away from the deal as well, but make sure you have a refundable deposit
Always
on that.
get a refundable deposit, and it's only when it's a bill of sale.
Yeah.
And you actually sign for it. If you give a bill of sale and you sign for it, that's your car now. So just remember that. If it's a quote, it is not.
Even for us, we went through that and we had to tweak our order. And because it had more features and because it was a 2024 model, the prices have gone up across the board for all vehicles, not just the one that we bought. So always remember that, especially if you get bumped from one model to the next model year. In hindsight, we're actually really glad that it happened this way for a couple of reasons. First off, the 2024 GTI, which we bought, is the last year for the manual transmission. So we kind of got that last model. Also, we went with a wild color, palmetto yellow, and that is no longer available in the US for 2024. It's only available in Canada.
And then also, they changed the packages, as we mentioned. We wanted this thing and that thing, and they go, yeah, you want that? Now you got to go up one package.
But
Whatever.
we got some extras, you know,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think
it's
it turned out really well.
It didn't really matter. If it
No.
cost us a few $1,000s more, we're happy to pay it because
happy.
we got the car we wanted. And we're
Yeah.
not selling it, so it doesn't matter.
So it's all good. And that's it for us for Questions, Coffee, and Cars, episode 65. If you want to get a question in, follow along on Instagram at motormouth_Andrea. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific time, I put a post out. It's only up for a short time.
Don't sleep in. Don't sleep in.
Once we get our questions, the post is deleted. And I got to tell you, they come in fast and furiously. You know, we're doing 2 of these a week because we really get so many questions and we really enjoy it. So thank you for participating.
Andrea, you like Chardonnay, don't you?
I do.